Today we are going to be making some lemon scones, but these aren't just any lemon scones, they are the lemoniest lemon scones because instead of just throwing in the juice and the zest, we are going to be throwing in the entire lemon. The only ingredients you'll need are white whole wheat flour, confectioner's sugar, baking powder, lemons, and heavy cream. So the first step in our scones is measuring out our dry ingredients. For that, I like using a scale. I just find it a little bit easier and more precise, but you can totally use volume too. So we are doing 240 grams or 2 cups of white whole wheat flour. Now, if you've never worked with white, oh my God, did you see that? It just went perfectly on 240. If you've never worked with white whole wheat flour, try to find a bag. It is so delicious. It is not a mix of white and whole wheat flour. It's just a different kind of whole wheat. So 100% whole grain, but it's just a little bit, lighter and like sprightlier than a standard whole wheat that you might have worked with. And you get that kind of like nutty amazingness, but it's not gonna make a stodgy scone. We're using just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of confectioner's sugar. So in a scone, you might expect to see a granulated sugar or super fine sugar, or I've used like a turbinado sugar. In this case, we're using confectioner's sugar, which is really, really fine and usually has a little bit of like cornstarch in it, because this same sugar is gonna come in handy later on. For baking powder, we are adding 3 1/4 teaspoons. This is what is gonna give our scones all of their lift. And then we are also adding a teaspoon of salt, which from a distance may seem generous. It is generous. You need it. I don't want a really, really sweet scone. This is gonna give it balance. And now we can just stir everything up. So instead of zesting and juicing the lemon for the scone dough itself, I am just thickly slicing it, removing any seeds, and then we are going to chuck it in the blender and just blitz it until it is super mushy.
Wow, it smells really good.
In making it easier and letting the blender do the work, it also makes the flavor so much more intense because we're not just getting these 2 little parts of lemon, we are getting the whole lemon and its full personality. So now we are going to add this lemon puree to our cream. So what we're making today is classified as a cream scone. So in this case, that means that there is no butter. So I love cream scones because in a lot of recipes, you might be using cream anyway. And just by using more cream, you get to avoid all the kind of finicky technique that comes with butter. So you don't have to worry about, cutting in the butter. Is it too big? Is it too small? The cream just takes care of everything. So see how liquidy it is? Okay, and now we're gonna stir it. So what's gonna happen now is the cream, once I stir it, is going to magically thicken. Do you see it changing?
Wow, that's wild.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, that's crazy. So our last step is combining our 2 elements, our dry ingredients and our lemon cream. So I'm just gonna do this kind of in plops. At this point, you wanna see if it is good to start shaping or if we need to add a little bit more cream. Now I like to start with a little bit less because you can always add more, but you can't take it away once you've gone too far. Like this kind of clump right here looks really nice. When I squeeze it, it holds shape, but we've got some dry patches kind of hanging out. I'm just gonna grab some cream from the fridge and then I'm gonna add in like the tiniest little 1 tablespoon splashes. So this is starting to look really good to me. You don't need to come together perfectly in the bowl because we are going to be turning it out onto a work surface and then kind of bringing the last bit together there as we shape it into a circle. So it's a little bit shaggy, but if I kind of push it together, it holds shape. That's perfect. So there's no need to roll anything out here with a pin or cut anything out with like a cookie cutter or biscuit cutter. We are just going to pat it into a circle with our hands and then cut out triangles from there. So no waste, no fuss. So I'm just gonna use my hands to kind of bring everyone together. And I like to kind of move it around a little bit just to kind of confirm to myself that it's not sticking. So we're aiming for like a 7-inch wide circle. So that'll be like 1.25 inches thick. Do you think it's 7 inches? Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Perfect.
So now I'm just cutting it into 8 triangles. So more cream is coming in handy here. I am just brushing some on the top. You can't add too much, just be generous. I like to do it off the sheet pan, so whatever extra kind of drips come along, they're not gonna end up on the pan and burn. Wow, they are just soaked. They're soaked in cream. That's a good thing. And now we are ready to go on our sheet pan. So our oven is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. These are gonna bake for like about 20-ish minutes. I'm gonna clean up the counter in the meantime and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more few ingredient recipes. So now that our scones are cooling, we are going to be reusing a lot of the same ingredients to make the glaze. So the first is confectioner's sugar. I am just weighing out about 1 cup, which shakes out to like 114 grams. And now is when we have another lemon. We're gonna use the zest and the juice separately here. So I'm adding like half of the lemon zest here. That's gonna infuse our glaze with like a ton of flavor. And then I'm leaving the rest that we're gonna sprinkle on top. I'm just dotting it with lemon zest. If you kind of plunk it on top, it's gonna stick to the glaze. It doesn't need to be perfectly distributed. I just like little polka dots of yellow. And then these are really nice little bursts of like puckery sourness. In addition to the lemon zest, we are going to be sprinkling on some flaky salt. So if you ever had preserved lemon, you know what an awesome combination lemon and salt is. It kind of accentuates the sourness in a really cool way. So I'm just doing a little pinch, just all around. And I also like how this adds a little bit of crunch to the scone. So our very, 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 very lemony scones are now all ready to eat. Here's one for Justin. Wow. Look at this flaky interior. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's so good. It's so flaky. It's so lemony. And we didn't need any butter. We just needed a lot of cream and a lot of lemon. Come back next week and we will make even more few ingredient recipes together.